Here we have something truly unexpected. This CCTV footage comes from China's Qinghai region and was recorded just a few days ago at around 3 a.m. The security camera captured something truly unexpected. I'm certain none of you saw this coming. This is one of those bizarre videos you never anticipate seeing. A man sleeping at the hotel's front desk was woken up by the sight of a big bear. Surprisingly, the bear was calm, allowing the man to quietly back away. According to witnesses, the bear simply grabbed some snacks and left the hotel. It's remarkable how calmly the bear handled the situation. Maybe it was just looking for a midnight snack. Next up is a video that comes from Koh Phangan, a popular tourist island in Thailand. This beautiful destination draws visitors from around the world, but what you're about to see shows that even paradise can turn dangerous. As the footage shows, it's not always a great idea to take the cheapest boat tour. The captain steered directly into a massive wave, which seemed almost inevitable given the choppy waters that day. This led to a terrifying moment for the tourists, most of whom were visibly alarmed, clutching onto the sides of the boat for dear life. None of them were wearing life jackets, which makes the situation even more dangerous. Luckily, reports indicate that they all survived without injury, and there was no mention of the incident in Thai news as a tragedy. Still, it's a clear reminder to be cautious when booking trips in unfamiliar places. I couldn't gather much background information about this particular video, but what I did find is that it comes from Quilima, Colombia, and was apparently recorded around December 21st, 2020. It's a rather remote region, and construction standards aren't always strictly followed. But even with minimal knowledge of construction, it's clear that safety measures were sorely lacking in this situation. This was a disaster just waiting to happen.
Uy, maricas. No, baila, hermano. No.
In the footage, a worker is seen dealing with some pipes, possibly trying to connect or adjust them underground, although it's hard to tell exactly what he was doing. This type of work is always risky, especially without proper safety gear or reinforcement. Sadly, the lack of safety precautions had catastrophic consequences when the trench they had dug suddenly collapsed, filling the pit with debris. The tragic outcome is blurred in the video, but it's evident what happened to the worker. The entire scene is a grim reminder of how fragile life can be in such dangerous conditions. Despite the quick response of his colleagues, the limited information available suggests that the worker unfortunately lost his life. It's a heartbreaking incident that highlights the need for better safety protocols in places like this. Now let's shift gears to a video that seems like it's straight out of a disaster movie. This unbelievable footage recently surfaced on social media, and it apparently originates from the Embek-Shikazak district of Kazakhstan. An industrial zone in the region, Odabsi, is home to the KMG Supply Company, which handles sulfur, petroleum coke, and other materials, an important detail for understanding this clip.
Kök yanyaptı, ot.
At first glance, you might mistake this scene for a river, and in a way, you wouldn't be wrong. But instead of water, this is a river of fire, molten sulfur to be exact. This kind of incident is almost unheard of, and it's one of the most visually striking disasters I've ever come across. Other materials, including petroleum coke, were also burning alongside it, making the scene even more intense. After some digging, I confirmed that this was indeed a sulfur fire that occurred on July 27, 2024. Over 300 people and even a firefighting train were involved in extinguishing the blaze, and thankfully no casualties were reported. It's incredible that everyone made it out safely, considering the sheer scale of the fire. Now let's move to one of the most majestic but dangerous places on Earth. Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in the Alps in Western Europe, rises 15,766 feet, 4,805 meters, above sea level. It's one of the world's most popular peaks, attracting over 20,000 climbers each year. But even with all the experience in the world, nothing can prepare you for nature's unpredictability. While this group was climbing Mont Blanc, a rockfall occurred. It's a climber's worst nightmare, and whether they were heading towards it or had just come from that direction, witnessing such a thing must have been terrifying. The attached line indicates that this is a well-used path, likely the only way across, which makes the clip even more chilling. The danger is real, and Mont Blanc is notorious for its fatal accidents. With over 1,400 fatalities recorded on Mont Blanc, and another 100 occurring every year, the mountain's danger is significant. In comparison, Mount Everest has claimed around 330 lives in total. These figures put Mont Blanc's treacherous terrain into perspective. Now let's dive into something different: road rage. I rarely include road rage incidents because they tend to be overly violent and don't show much beyond that. However, this one is particularly bizarre. What happens next is something you won't believe. I don't know what led up to this moment, but the outburst captured here is one of the strangest I've ever seen. This guy jumped out of his Corvette, stormed over to the woman he was arguing with and, here's the twist, literally jumped and chopped her side mirror with his hand. Yes, you heard that right. He hand-chopped her mirror off. I'm as confused now as I was the first time I saw this video. The woman must have felt the same, as she sat there in shock, before eventually recording his license plate number. The sheer randomness of this act makes it hard to process. This happened in Miami in July of this year, but there haven't been any updates since. I'm sure you're just as curious as I am to know what happened next. Moving on to something equally unsettling. The next clip takes us to Japan, specifically to the city of Kawaguchi in Saitama. This quiet town was rocked by an explosion that no one could have anticipated. This dashcam footage was captured on Thursday, July 18th, 2024, and it marks the return of an intriguing Japanese clip to our channel. You'll soon see why. According to the news report, everything seemed calm until suddenly, at around 8:30 p.m., an emergency call reported an explosion at an apartment in Namiki, Kawaguchi City. The explosion was massive, shaking the neighborhood and sending shockwaves through the streets. The fire department confirmed that at least 3 people were injured, including a 44-year-old man who was taken to the hospital. While the exact cause of the explosion remains unclear, local speculation suggests it could have been a gas leak, but this hasn't been confirmed. It was extremely rare for it to be caught by a passing car's dashcam. Glass fragments as large as 8 inches were found scattered on roads nearly 100 meters away from the apartment, illustrating the explosion's severity. It's astonishing to think that such destruction could unfold in the blink of an eye.